and all right, I'm happy with it. Steve Schaefer, Art Miller, Skip Thalen, and there was somebody else. They come down there and they started shooting their rifles. And when they got done, you know, I just sat there because it was interesting watching those guys. And when they got done, Steve Schaefer says, okay, we're all set to go, fellas. Yep, all right, put one shell in the gun and get in the car and we'll drive by and everybody shoot.
So you did it?
No, I wasn't part of that group, but they did, you know. Yep, shot right out of the car. Yeah, back then that was always the thing. They would shoot does.
Neat.
Uncle Melvin and Art and those guys used to talk about when they went up to Otsego Lake and they rented this cottage, and the owner of the cottage said, you guys were the guys that were here last year. Don't you dare cut up any deer on my table. You cut the tablecloth all up. He'd, no, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that, you know. And well, that tablecloth got ruined. So some of the guys didn't have a chance to come up right away or something, and then they called home and said, bring the meat saw. Which meant they didn't get a buck. That was before doe permits. They didn't get a buck. They already got a doe to eat. Bring the meat saw.
Oh, wow.
And that darn Corky pole, I was with it that year. God, I remember who was all. Dickie Worth was one of them. Corky pole. Corky got the deer, and it was really warm out. Nobody was getting any deer, and Corky hung that deer up. That was up at Otsego Lake. He hung the deer up in the tree, and geez, you know, it was, yeah, I remember he shot it the night before, and it got away on him. And then the next day they went back there and looked around, and they found it, but it was still alive.
Oh.
So they ended up shooting it, and it was a buck. Nobody, you know, had a buck hanging at all in that area. So they brought the deer back, and I remember Uncle Melvin saying, God, he says, when we gutted the thing out, he said, whoa, that thing stunk, you know.
Was it full of mustard or something?
Yeah, and then they took it anyway, and they hung it up by the tree at that resort. And people would come walking up to it, and they'd back away from it because it stunk so damn bad. And somebody said, and it could have been Dickie Worth, somebody said, you know, if you put mustard on there, that'll season that, and that'll keep the flies and stuff away from it.
That kind of makes sense.
So they smeared mustard all over it. Well, then the deer looked worse than ever. Because, you know,
Yeah.
and they had that thing hanging there, and okay, now it's time to go home. So they threw the deer over the fender like they used to, and they come home and they parked in front of Martin's restaurant. And people would come up and look at that deer, and their noses was, Jesus, what's wrong? Then they'd go in the bar and say, who got the buck? You know, Corky pulled it. Boy, that's a dandy, you know. Did you find it? What the hell makes it smell like that? You know?
Did you find it?
and then they decided, okay, you know, I think Corky was thinking, well, you better not, you know, plan on eating it or anything. And that's when they got to thinking, all the road sighting that they did, they went over to Corky's there, and they took that deer, and they kind of wired him, tied him into the tree, so it looked like down by Wyland Swamp.
Yep.
And then they went over to Ambrose Smith.
Helicopter.
Yeah.
then they went over to Ambrose Smith and told Ambrose what they had done. And so if they heard some shooting, don't worry about it. And then I don't know who it was, but it was Nobby Thalen come by. Saw that deer, you know, and stopped out on the road and bang! You know,
Yeah.
bang! Shot like a couple, 3 times and it never went down. And then when they saw Ambrose, Ambrose says, "Oh, that poor deer's has got holes in it," you know. People shooting from the road.
Yep. Muscles Freud's the one that you heard about him, didn't you?
Who?
Muscles Freud. What is his right name? He died now.
Muscles Frank.
Freud lived in town.
You mean Clarence Rines?
No. Rita.
Oh, Larry Frank.
Larry Freud. He drove by there and shot the son
Did
of a
he shoot
bitch. Oh God. He started walking over there and he see what the hell he done and he kicked the deer right in the ass. Ambrose seen that. He said that Larry Freud walked over there and kicked that son of a bitch. You know?
And I laugh too when you think back to the olden days and Ambrose Smith there. Art was Grandpa Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Art and Muff and Donnie Thalen. God, I don't know if it was Dickie Worth. There was a few guys that had an old tent
Oh, yeah.
and they had a dual therm heater for it. And they put that thing up in behind Ambrose out in the field. And they turned the heat on, got it going, and they left. And
Right by the creek.
was that where it was?
Yeah, right on the east side of the swamp. On the east side of the creek where they had that thing.
Okay. Then I don't know if it happened right away or whatever, but one morning they wouldn't spend the night there. I don't think they would spend the days playing cards and stuff.
Yep.
But they come down there one morning and everything was gone. The only thing that was still there was the stove and the vent pipe. The thing, the heater overheated and burned the tent down. And when I got there, the wood or the old kerosene stove or whatever just all flaming away. And no tent left.
Yeah.
Oops.
I spent a little time in there.
Did you?
Yeah, well. Sally Smith was there. Clarence Freud, Leo Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had that set up one time down by across the road from where Donnie Pung lives now, didn't they? Back in there.
Yep. 1 year, I think.
We went down there and visited them.
Yep.
Man, I think it was a wet year too, because man, it was awful muddy around there.
Oh, God.
And after that, for a few years, they rented that house or whatever they
Randy-
Randy Felpoff,
Yep,
didn't they?
Randy Felposh.
Yep. That is right.
Then that thing, they got a fire in there. He had that.
Well, Bud and them guys moved in there after a while.
Yeah, that went for quite a few years.
Ronnie Thalen, them guys.
Yeah. Yep. God, that time, I could sit here for hours, some of those memories. When they used to go up to Otsego Lake a lot for deer hunting.
Yeah. That and Roscommon.
Yeah, Bob, I never hunted by Roscommon with him, but I hunted up to Otsego Lake with him. And then there was Art, Donnie Thalen, Corky Paul, Bob Roach, Muff, Joe Schiller. I don't know who else. But those guys would sit there and, all right, they're going to go out early in the morning. Yep, get over there. Yep, all right. And Joe Schiller bought an ice fishing shanty, an old ice fishing shanty, and he mounted it on the back of the pickup. So when they would go out in the woods hunting in the morning, they could drive out there with like 3 cars in that pickup. And they'd go out hunting, and then they'd come back and sit in that fishing shanty on the back of Joe Schiller's truck, and they would drink. and that year that I went up there, season opened up on a Sunday, and we drove back there, and everybody got out, and I mean, I was just gung-ho about hunting, you know. And okay, when you hear that horn blow, 1 long and 2 shorts, that means it's time to go. We're all ready to go. So, yep, okay. My God, I got in the woods, and it was on a Sunday morning, and I don't think I was in the woods more than an hour and a half, and all of a sudden, beep, 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 you know. Like, what the heck, you know, come out of the woods, come up there, where you been? Well, I was hunting. Yeah, we gotta go. There's nothing moving this morning. Yeah, okay, you know. So we got in the truck, in the cars, and we drove over to the Waters Bar and backed the truck up to the bar and waited for that bar to open up at noon. It was on a Sunday. And it was like, I don't know, 10:30, 11 o'clock. We were already sitting there waiting for the damn bar to open up. God. Yep.
Wow.
Then Grandpa Miller, he had that 56 Chevy pickup, and he had a little box on there.
That same white box?
Yep, that white box, yep. He had that on there. And Art said, I wish there was a light in the back of that so you could turn a light on in there and not have to use a flashlight. And I said, oh, I can fix that for you. So I hooked it into the tail light, and then there was a switch. And I said, all you got to do is just, you know, turn the parking lights on and turn that switch on, and that back end will all light up. So they go up there, and here comes Bob Roach and Art back from hunting, and Art turns that light on to light up the back of the truck. And Bob Roach says, yeah, you better turn that light off, you're going to wear down the battery. And Grandpa says, that's not connected to the battery. Says, what? You know, how in the hell does it work? He says, I don't know, Marvin fixed it, you know, wired it all up, but it's not connected to the battery. Then how? And then I come walking out of the woods with Uncle Melvin, you know. We're walking up there, and Art and Bob is really going at it, you know, with Grandpa. And then Muff comes up there and finds out what the hell they're arguing about it, you know. Art says it's not hooked up to the battery. How in the hell can it run? And then that got Uncle Melvin going. Oh my God, and then finally Art said, not hooked to the batteries, hooked to the taillights. God damn it, you know. Oh, gee.
Arthur.
Oh, Bob would roll his eyes.
Rode many miles in the back of that pickup.
Yeah. Then that Muff always told the story about Art. Deer hunting, he had a 16 gauge shotgun back then for deer hunting and slugs. And Muff was sitting there by a tree, and here comes a deer. A doe comes walking by and went from, let's say, from like his right to his left. Gone it was. A little while later, here comes Art. He's tracking that doe. And he gets up to that tree and stops and looks around the side of that tree, looks all over, can't see where the tracks are, and then he looks up into the tree. And Muff is sitting there shaking his head like, what the hell does he expect? And then Art sat there and he says, I don't know. He said, hell, I was tracking the tree, tracking that deer, and that deer track got up to the tree and the track stopped. Where in the hell did he go? He sure the hell didn't go up in the tree.
Oh, geez. You guys had some good times. We had some good times too.
And that Art got that deer that one year. Deer was running away and he shot. And they went over there and started gutting it out. And where the hell did you hit him? Art says, I don't know. He was running away. And they looked around. There was no hole in him.
That was a hell of a
He was
shot.
running away. Yep.
Hell of a shot.
You do the math.
Oh, God.
You want another one, Jeff?
I'll have one more.
Wait a minute.
It's too warm to go to bed yet.